I'm Neil Everett. We are all witnesses, part 2.
Following the decision, there has been mostly derision of the Miami Heat. And fairly or unfairly, there will be even more if they don't bring home the championship that they were built to win. That being said, they're probably going to be a whole lot of fun to watch as they try to do it. Started one of the most anticipated seasons for any team in American sports ever, and facing the Celtics in Boston might be the perfect place to start. Road test against a team that's won the East 2 of the previous 3 years. Let's get it on. LeBron James elevating over Paul Pierce. That's his first bucket for the Heat. Well, they had the early lead. Later in the first, Celtics up 3. Rajon Rondo leaving it for the big statue. Shaquille O'Neal with 9 points. Celtics up 5 early. Heat having problems securing the basketball. James looking for Wade, who throws the ball away. Wade dribbles the ball off his foot, out of bounds, missed virtually the whole preseason with that hamstring injury, and then James called for the offensive foul. Here's Heat coach Erik Spoelstra on his team's first quarter struggle.
Offensively, exhale. I mean, it's going to get better than this. Well, I think they're excited, and we'll settle in. It'll be smoother than this.
5 turnovers for Miami in the first to go with 4 buckets. So James on the bench to start the second quarter. Heat trying to get on track. Chris Bosh misses the runner. Wade misses the putback. And the struggles continue from the field. Meanwhile, Kevin Garnett makes the rip. Nate Robinson cherry picking. Big finish for the little man. Celtics up 16. Later in the second, 15-point lead. Rondo to Ray Allen for 3. Heat shot 27% in the first half. Boston 45%. Celtics up 45-30 at the half. New big 3 of the Heat combined to shoot under 26% from the floor in the first half. James and Wade committed all 9 of the Heat turnovers in the first half. Not the start they were hoping for watching on TV in South Florida, but they played 2 halves as the rules dictate. Under 5 minutes to play. LeBron running over Paul Pierce, and that was called a blocking foul on Pierce. Take another look at it. They didn't like the call in Boston. Pierce shaking up with the play, would head to the locker room. No wheelchair, though. With Pierce gone, James starts to heat up. How about 3? Bang, bang, bang. 12-point game. Long 2. Got that 2. Heat down by 12. Under a minute left. Come out on him. Splits the double team. Goes by Big Baby. And the Heat cut it to a 6-point game. James scored or assisted on the final 14 points of the third quarter. You see his move get into the bucket there. He had 15 points in the third himself. So we go to the fourth, and we got a game. Pierce back on the floor and knocking down 3. He was 3 for 4 on 3. Celtics extended back to a 9-point game. Later in the fourth, 6-point game now. Rondo back to Pierce for 3 more. 19 points for Pierce in the game. Celtics back up 9. The home crowd, later the Heat, know how they feel about the team, even with this new look.
Crowd starting in with the overrated chants here in game 1.
Later in the third, the Heat responding. James says, I got you overrated right there. He was 3 for 6 on 3s. And then Wade shot just 4 for 16, but he hit that one to put the Heat down 5. And then James, it's a 3-point game, 10-0 Heat run. After a timeout, Celtics up by 3. Allen drives baseline. He's double-teamed under the basket. Allen kicks it out. Heat defenders lose track of him. He never stops running. And there's the result. And Mom's digging it. Take another look at it. Allen, before James could get there on the rotation, and the Celtics hang on to win it 88-80 to spoil James's Heat debut. James with 31 points, but he did have 8 turnovers. Chris Bosh, 3 for 11, just 8 points. So we told you about Wade's numbers for the game. All the numbers say the same thing. The Celtics already know how to work together. The Heat still learning. Like this one, Rajon Rondo had 17 assists, 1 off his career high, and 2 more than Miami's entire team. Heat still.
This is a work in progress. We feel like we all know Rome wasn't built in one day. You know, so it's going to take time, and we understand that. And, you know, we have to keep on making progress every day and just continue to get better.
We just miss shots. Sometimes they go in, sometimes they don't. They gave us tough defensive stances. I know I missed a lot of shots.
We missed some easy shots and never were able to get into a proper rhythm. But it's not a reason to panic right now. We knew this would be a little bit of a process, and this is the first step.
You can see me and D-Wade have 14 turnovers between us two, and a lot of them was just just being too unselfish, trying to find each other too much when we had an open look. So, you're going to have that early, as the cohesiveness continues to get better.
This is one of 82. I'm sorry if everyone thought we was going to go 82-0. It just ain't happening.
It's not? Okay, well, that's kind of a news flash. LeBron, 31 points, which is about 40%, just under 40% of the team scoring. Compared to the other 4 starters, James nearly as many points, made more shots, took and made more free throws. On the other end, Paul Pierce bangs home 19 for the Celtics, got banged up in the process.
I'm a little sore right now. I know when I got up and started walking, ran down court, back started to spasm a little bit. Had a chance to go to the back, took a few Advils and kind of put some heat on it and see I loosened it up a little bit. And it was pretty good for the rest of the game, but I know it's going to be a little bit slower tonight and tomorrow.
I just said to Paul as we was coming in here, to him and Twister, I said, we in the finals already? But it did have a lot of hype on it. A lot of good personnel on both teams, a lot of extended personnel. But to us, it's about getting better and defending home court.
They're going to be a lot better when we see them again, and hopefully we are as well.
All right, let's hop on the SportsCenter Express. We got one train going to Miami. The Heat big 3 with a combined 52 points. LeBron, 31. Chris Bosh, 8, just 3 of 11 shooting. 15 turnovers for the big 3. LeBron had 8 of those. The other train headed to Boston. Their big 3, and we're not counting Rondo in that, or Shaq. 49 points. Ray Allen, 20. Pierce, 19. Garnett with 10. If you take out each team's big 3, the Celtics supporting cast outscores the Heat supporters by 11. Boston supporters also had a big edge in assists thanks to Rondo, who picked up 17 for the Celtics on Tuesday. Hey, in Boston, Hannah Storm. She's got more.
Thanks here with John Barry and Michael Wilbon. Tough task for the much ballyhooed Heat as they come into the home of the defending Eastern Conference champs, one of the best defensive teams in all the game, and very experienced, and with no experience on the part of the Heat with the big 3 playing together in the preseason, save 3 minutes. The end result was a pretty abysmal first half, much better in that third quarter with Dwayne Wade on the bench. What did we learn?
Primarily that LeBron James, when all is said and done with this team, is going to have to be the primary playmaker. I mean, you can call him whatever you want. You can call him the point guard, the point forward. You can label him the 1, the 2, the 3, whatever you want. He has to have the ball in his hands. I mean, I don't want to sound like I'm dissing Carlos Arroyo, JB, but that experiment, to me, is not going to last very long. You can't have LeBron and Dwayne Wade just out there in space without the basketball. That's part of what they do so spectacularly. LeBron is going to have to be the guy with the ball.
Well, that was my biggest concern going in, is Dwayne Wade and LeBron James are very similar players. They need the basketball in their hands. That's all they're accustomed to doing. Every single night, every time down the floor, they're accustomed to making the plays, whether it be for themselves or their teammates. Tonight, 14 turnovers between the two. Now, I'm not going to overreact. It's one game. And like you said, they've only been together for 3 minutes in a preseason game. So it's nothing to get worried about, but you're right. It's got to be LeBron James. Dwayne Wade has played off the ball a lot more than LeBron James has in his 7 years in Cleveland. So it's going to be LeBron James running the point. They got to find a way to get Bosh a few more looks, just 11 shots tonight. But it's game 1. We're not at DEFCON 5 right now. It's okay. Relax. It's a loss.
It will be in Miami, don't you think?
It might be.
By the time we get there for Friday's home opener?
Hey, they play Philly tomorrow. Everything will be just fine about 10 o'clock tomorrow Eastern time.
But clearly, they both can't play off the ball, so a lot of work to do, and they get back at it tomorrow night, as do the Celtics there in the former home of LeBron James. Cleveland, how did the Celtics look to you? 20 turnovers, a spectacular 17-assist effort by Rajon Rondo. What else did you see tonight?
Deep, so depth, size, strength, and also a Shaquille O'Neal who was animated and rejuvenated and got them off to a big start. I don't think he has to have huge numbers to contribute in a way that's acceptable to Doc Rivers and the Celtics.
Well, what does that depth mean? That they don't have to count on the big 3 every night. And that's exactly what they need if they want to make a run back to the finals. Glenn Big Baby Davis was terrific tonight, 6 of 7 for 13 points. Marquise Daniels, 4 of 5 for 8 points. They combined for 21. Wade and Bosh combined for 21. So if you get bench production and don't have to rely on the big 3, although Ray Allen was terrific tonight, mediocre for KG, Paul Pierce not great, yet they still win because they play great defense, and they do have that depth.
Biggest cheers were for Shaq hitting those free throws.
2 in a row.
That was unbelievable.
And then 1 for 6.
Yeah. They were also chanting at the end, overrated regarding the Miami Heat. Maybe not so. This just the first draft of a story that will be written all season long. For Michael Wilbon and John Barry, I'm Hannah Storm saying so long from Boston.
At 5, Heat, Celtics, Rondo. Thought he had something. LeBron said no. Announcer said they thought this might be goaltending.
And Celtics, Rajon Rondo. You know, Shaq's big. Just throw it up there and let him put it down. Not a statue there. He's getting up to throw it down. His first points as a Celtic.